Harvest Moon Festival in Korea. As hot summer lapses into autumn, Korean farmers are busy harvesting a variety of crops. In addition to rice and other grains, fruits and nuts ripen fully, waiting for harvest. When harvesting begins, people in urban as well as rural areas prepare for the Harvest Moon Festival, which falls on August the 15th by the lunar calendar, or sometime in September or early October by the solar calendar. Many people in cities visit their hometowns or villages around this time of the year. Despite advanced sales of tickets and special trains for the occasion, both railway stations and trains become extremely crowded. Many industrial companies hire buses for their own employees, and yet bus terminals still become congested. But all are happy in spite of the confusion and congestion. In fact, a great migration takes place, often joined by Koreans who live overseas. Farmers find contentment in golden rice paddies. This is a small farming village in central Korea. People are returning to the village which has been inhabited by generations of their ancestors. Old farmers are especially happy to greet their sons and daughters returning home. The eldest son, who is also a farmer, enjoys the reunion with his brothers and sisters. Koreans offer traditional formal bows to their parents and grandparents after any long absence, and sometimes even after an overnight stay away from home. Such a method of bowing developed from sitting on the floor at home. Women in the family spend a lot of time preparing food with the newly harvested ingredients. Food for sacrificial rites and for eating later. Men cut the grass on and around their ancestral tombs. Children collect pine needles for making Korean rice cakes. Korean rice cakes made for the festival are a mixture of mashed beans, sesame, chestnuts and jujubes wrapped in rice dough. Women make their cakes shaped like the half moon as artistically as possible. Some children also like to make cakes. Grandfather writes ritual prayers with brush and ink and directs preparations for the ritual. Sons and grandsons watch the head of the family writing the ritual prayers to learn how to do them. The full moon in the clear sky on the festival eve is believed to bring a rich harvest the following year. Meanwhile, as rice cakes are steamed, the aroma of pine seeps through. Dedicated to ancestors is observed before a table set with Korean wine, food, fruits and other products of the year. Grandfather burns incense, pours Korean wine into a cup and draws 3 circles with it above the incense burner and serves it. Sacrificial festive days, ancestors' birthdays and anniversaries. On the Harvest Moon Festival Day, rites are done. After the rites, the family share the sacrificial food in the belief that they share the ancestors' blessings as well. Wine is poured in order, first for grandfather and then down through sons and grandsons. Normally, Korean men would not drink wine before their fathers or grandfathers, but they advised to share the sacrificial wine. They learn drinking manners with this kind of opportunity. Now they visit ancestral graves to pay homage. Most Korean graves are mounds built in sunny spots on hillsides. Though not mandatory, it is customary to place red-colored fruits and fish in the east and white-colored fruits and meat in the west when setting a sacrificial table. The rite begins by pouring wine into a cup and then pouring it onto 3 different spots in front of the grave, dividing the wine into 3 portions. This is meant to call the soul of the deceased. The rite then proceeds in the same order as the one observed at home. Women did not participate in graveside rites in the past, but more and more families now let women join in. At the grave site too, food is shared after the rite. Grandfather explains the history of the family, taking advantage of this family gathering. The Harvest Moon Festival Day is a public holiday in Korea, and most of the people spend daylight hours holding rites and visiting ancestral graves. Food is plentiful at this time of year, and many poets used to use this theme of the bounty of nature. Returning home from the graves, the children climb the hill and collect chestnuts from under the chestnut trees. In the old days, they competed with each other, dividing themselves into two groups, and the group that collected the most chestnuts received a big treat from the other group. Now the festival begins. They put on in each village a farmer's band and a dance, which are often joined by all the villagers on this festive day. Wrestling. The one whose body touches the ground loses. The prize-winning muscle man receives an ox purchased out of the village fund. The villagers display the strength of unity and cooperation by playing tug-of-war. Every primary school holds an athletic meeting at this time of year. Village women join in a group dance under the full moon in the evening. They dance with a sense of gratitude for the past year and as a prayer for another rich harvest in the coming year. It is a dance with harmony and grace in the moonlight. Speeding on the track of modernization, Koreans treasure age-old customs, and the Harvest Moon Festival is particularly well loved.